Wendy Williams has just recently been called out, and she's been asked about this latest situation involving her guardianship. And all the fans are saying, "That's right, Wendy. Speak on it. You speak that, Wendy, because indeed you will get out of that guardianship." And y'all, that's what she said. They called her out and they asked her about how she was feeling about this latest thing with her guardianship, putting out the recent results of the test, the cognitive test, the dementia test, and all the other tests that these people have put together to make Wendy feel that she has no choice but to stay under their rulership. And that's exactly what it is. But Wendy says, "I will get out of this guardianship." That's exactly what her fans said. She wanted us to know, because these people, what are they doing? Now, we know that this so-called guardianship is working very hard. And what are they working very hard to do? They're working very hard to hold on to Wendy Williams' money. That's what they're working very hard to do. And it's just the whole unrighteousness of it all. It's just the whole wrongness of it all. This lady wants out of this guardianship. This is her request. This is her mission. And why are these people holding on to this lady's money like this? That's the question that has to be asked. It has to be. Because look, if you are so concerned about this lady is not happy. What about her emotional condition and her happiness? What about her joy? Now, we know that earlier on, Wendy had her own cognitive test done, and that test, of course, said that she was perfectly fine to be out of the guardianship. And so with the backlash that came from that, and really the fans, the supporters, the media outlets, people coming out saying, "Let this woman out of this guardianship," these people said they better do something, and they better do something quick. The people in her guardianship said, "Oh, okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to have another test done." But when you look at it, that means absolutely nothing, because who's having this test done? Who are these people? We don't know who these people are. Wendy has no association with these people. We don't know the objectivity of it, okay? But we do know the objectivity of this test that Wendy took, because these people were an outside source. They weren't anyone that was in Wendy's corner. She went to an actual facility. She went to a hospital and had this test done. Now, what did these people have to gain from that? Absolutely nothing. But we know that these so-called guardian people have something to gain from it, and they have to gain their own pockets continuing to be filled. Look, let's call it as it is. Why don't you people call it as it is? This woman has a right to have her freedom from this guardianship. So that's the latest on the Wendy Williams situation, and Wendy wants everyone to know, don't give up on her. Don't look at this latest result and think that that means anything, because she said poignantly, okay, very matter of factly, very emphatically, she said, "I will get out of this guardianship," okay? And let's not forget that, look, we did the same thing for Britney Spears. We can do it for this lady, okay? Now, y'all, you were believing all sorts of things concerning Britney needing to be in the conservatorship. That's what Britney was in. And you all said, okay, well, she's been in that for a while. Now it's time for her to get out of it, okay? Same with this lady. Wendy Williams has been in this for a while. Now it's time for her to get out of this. And who does she have but her people who support her and believe that whatever way she's feeling about this situation is her right to feel about it, because look, after all, y'all, whose money is it? It's her money. Who worked for it? Wendy Williams worked for it. Who told everyone that she is ready to be out of the guardianship? She told everyone that. Why does not she have a right to be out of her guardianship, just as Britney Spears had the right to be out of her conservatorship after those years? Let's not make this more circumspect than it has to be, because when you really talk about circumspect and looking at things with a fine-tooth comb, you see what's really going on here. And we don't always want to call it out for what it is, but we are calling it out for what it is. What is it? It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It is not right, as Wendy has said many times before. It is just not right. So Wendy Williams, girl, we hear you. We're here for you. As you spoke about, you talked about your two attorneys. You called them out and said hello to them, because you know that they're doing a work for you that you can succinctly say, I will get out of this guardianship. So we know they're doing some good work, and we concur and say with you, oh, you will get out of that guardianship.